do it back to another episode of Rap Reviews where we review rap and stuff like that. We're actually in part 2 right now. This is the second part to the Noname J Cole beef. This is Noname's response we're going to do today. I'm with some friends, Chris, Kieran and Ben. And before we get started, just on last week's episode, I got 2 things I want to bring up. One, Gabriel was the angel of death. You were right, Chris.
Really?
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
I don't even remember this conversation.
Oh, this is we recorded this episode, I guess, last week's episode that we dropped. We recorded a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah.
And a customer came into work, and her name was Gabriella. And I was like, hey, and this is the next day. I was like, hey, by the way, was Gabriel the angel of death? And she was like, yes. And I was like, did he visit Jesus or Joseph? And she was like, no. I was like, damn it.
I think that was Michael, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, but he visited, she said he visited Mary and was like, you're going to have a big old baby. That was actually her words. I thought it was pretty funny.
So you're saying at your work you have like rap reviews fact checkers coming in? That's
no. Well, no, I was just typing in her name at work and then I was just like, oh, your name's Gabrielle. Like, I'm sure she's going to know, you know? Like, she comes from a good Christian background, clearly. Yeah. And she did know the answer, so.
Oh, yeah, if that's your namesake, surely you're going to know a thing or two about this angel.
Yeah, so there you go. I'm just clarifying that.
But anyway, point 2.
And point 2 is, I think I know why you're such a Che fanboy.
Okay.
And it's because
I literally own a T-shirt. that's all.
No, because he was a lawyer, and you love lawyers. For people who don't know at home, like listeners, Kieran exclusively dates lawyers.
Okay, I don't know if we need a psychoanalysis done on me before we start an episode, but
I just thought it'd be funny to mention. Anyway, let's kick it off.
Here's Romano with his fucking corkboard, just drawing the dots. What is it about?
I think I worked it out.
Why did Kieran own a Che Guevara T-shirt when he was 13 years old?
Che Guevara was a lawyer.
No.
Kieran loves lawyers.
No, I'm making a hard and fast rule: no lawyers.
No more lawyers.
Not for a little while, anyway.
Was it fool me once, but fool me 4 times? That's enough.
You'd think I would have learnt my lesson on the second, but no. I just kept.
You had to keep going back for more.
Digging back into that profession. I have my own theories as to why it is. I don't think it's necessarily I wouldn't call it a kink. It's definitely not a kink.
Well, yeah.
But why? Yeah. I think it's just because law is that profession where they churn out so many graduates per year that
I'm just plowing through those graduates.
I feel like it's just a numbers game. It's just a coincidence.
Yeah, it's like a statistical thing, and also lawyers tend to be fairly smart people.
Yeah.
I like smart people.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Attractive.
Yeah, I think it's all.
Anyway, I don't need to justify my sexual preferences here on the podcast.
All right, let's get into the episode. Take us away.
All right, so if you are unfamiliar with the J Cole Noname kind of quasi beef, I'm not going to call it a full beef. It was a couple of shots fired towards one another on the socials, but if you're unfamiliar with how it all started, well then you should go back and listen to episode 31 of Rap Reviews. Give you a nice little background, because I'm not going to go through all the tweets and read them for people who are
quickly,
listening.
did you say episode 31?
Yeah,
which is 2 episodes ago.
Which makes
so this one's 33.
33. That was pure coincidental, I swear.
Nice.
But yeah, goddamn.
Yeah,
nice.
Love it when these things work out.
Numbers, huh? Can't live with them, can't live without them.
I mean, it's what makes the world go round.
You can live with them. What are you talking about?
In fact, I think I prefer to live with numbers.
Yeah.
They're incredibly helpful in everyday life.
Yeah, imagine if we didn't have numbers, hey? You use them all the time. Every day.
Even in hip-hop, numbers are a big thing. Supreme mathematics that, fucking Riz is always harping on about.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
Not that I know the actual theory.
Isn't it the 12 joules and all that shit?
Yeah, something along those lines.
It's like a form of Taoism or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they've got their 36 chambers.
Well, that's from a karate film. Anyway, let's get into it.
All right, so the intro is... I'm not sure if we're even going to annotate the intro, but it's from Psycho 3, 1986 slasher film. Oh, I have ambitions, dreams, but dreams don't come cheap. And then we go into verse 1.
Is there any relevance to that in the track, or do you think it was just thrown in there to...
Did J Cole say in the last one something about a young girl with hopes and dreams or something? Or have I just made that up?
Oh no, yeah. I think I can't remember now, honestly.
Yeah, no, he kind of talks about Noname as if like, you know, she's kind of starry-eyed idealist.
Yeah.
Which isn't totally incorrect. I guess she is like a bit of an idealist. She dreams, and she talks about like, you know, dreaming in this song as well. So I don't know. She was probably just watching fucking Psycho 3 and was like, "That's cool. I'm going to use that in one of my tracks."
Random movie to pull that
Yeah.
from. As
I've
well.
never even heard of it. I love slashes. Psycho 3.
Still got old mate in it. The Norman Bates. What's his name? The actor's name?
Oh, it's Psycho 3. Yeah, I thought the movie was called Psycho 3, like all one word. It's
Yeah,
like the third Psycho.
Yeah,
No, I
the third
actually have.
installment of Psycho.
Yeah, no, I actually have seen that.
What is his name? That actor.
Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Oh no, but like the actual real
Yeah.
name. But yeah, he's definitely in it.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
wasn't that bad. They're all the same though. It's just a new person moves to the
Yeah.
motel, and then mum's upstairs staring down, and they're like, "What's up with that?" He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna kill you later." You know, like,
Yeah. Okay.
same thing every movie.
Okay.
The actor was Anthony Perkins.
That's it. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what we've got the internet here for, to fact check on the fly. All right, verse 1. I saw a demon on my shoulder, is looking like patriarchy, like scrubbing blood off the ceiling and bleaching another carpet. How my house get haunted.
Damn.
That patriarchy reference is interesting. So, I don't know. I feel like I saw a demon on my shoulder. It's looking like patriarchy.
Is that potentially, and I'm just very speculating here, but like having a demon on the shoulder sort of telling you what to do, which is the ideal thing, which J. Cole is potentially playing the demon on her shoulder.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
that's
like
what I'm
this-
thinking.
like
as
sort of
well,
telling
yeah.
her.
Try to like
you know,
elicit response
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the patriarchy because it's a male telling her,
Yeah.
you need to explain to us better, and it's like,
Yeah, that's
I think you're bang on the money.
yeah, that seems
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
sick.
Good job.
Nice. Yeah, that was very succinct. Like scrubbing blood off the ceiling and bleaching another carpet. You familiar with what that may be?
When you like cleaning up a
Presents.
body after you've murdered someone.
Yeah, well, I think it's in this particular case, you know, given the context of Black Lives Matter, is like referring to all like the needless deaths of black men and women at the hands of police officers,
Yeah.
like scrubbing blood off the ceiling, because, you know, the demon on the shoulder looking like patriarchy, maybe just like, you know, more of the same shit that she has to deal with on a daily basis, that she's seeing on a daily basis, kind of thing. Also in regards to that, Noname put out a tweet after Cole had released Snow on the Bluff, and tweeted Queen Tone all in capital letters with a few exclamation marks afterwards. I guess obviously taking pretty directed offense at, well, not offense, but, you know, calling him out on saying Queen Tone. But she's since deleted that.
That was what I asked you guys when we were doing the episode. What do you think was misogynistic? And you guys both said that though. You were like the queen.
That was the only
tone.
thing that, because it's just, I mean, I hate to be that person, but it's like a trigger word. You know what he's actually trying to say in context, but like,
yeah.
maybe the fact that he said that is a bit like misguided, but
Yeah,
So,
like it can
you
be
know.
like easily misconstrued.
yeah. So maybe he should have used a better term.
Like
but,
poor choice.
Do you
Poor
think
choice
he
of
might
words.
have wanted to use that term to get that reaction?
oh, a
out
bit of a
it?
trigger.
Oh,
Like-
he's casting his own nets. You know.
Because
Bit of
I
network.
felt like that vibe, but I don't know.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
could be wrong.
I don't know.
It's possible, yeah.
That line, it sort of insinuates like they're scrubbing the blood off the ceiling and bleaching another carpet, saying like rather than actually fixing the problem at hand, you're sort of focusing your issue on something else. But I don't know what exactly she's referencing there.
Yeah, I
Unless
guess
she's referencing Cole spending his energy on talking back to her rather than actually doing
And,
something
like,
about the Black
rather than
Lives Matter.
preventing it, like
Yeah.
actually dealing with it as it's kind of unfolding.
It's like, why are you taking the time to address me and like fire back at me when you really could be using that energy and focus to help the big situation we're all actually talking about?
And thus, like, he's part of the problem in
Yeah.
a way, because it's like that's kind of what happens every time like something like this happens. It like, you know, like it blows up, and then media takes control, and then everyone starts to have their own opinions, and then you get further and further away from like why the problems exist in the
Yeah,
first
it's like when you
place.
get into an argument with someone and then just sort of something is said within the argument, then all of a sudden then you're in that room.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
focus is on that.
yeah. And then by the end of
And
it,
it's like, what are we actually originally addressing here? Like, can we get back to the root problem? Like,
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Why Toyin body don't embody all the life she wanted, a baby, just 19. So Toyin refers to a lady named I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, but here we go. Oluwatoyin, Salu. Anyway, she was a Black Lives Matter activist who was like sexually assaulted and then killed. Well, she went missing for a week, and then her body came up like a week later.
Fuck, was that recently or?
Yeah, this was June this year. It was like just
Or
before
like last year?
Yeah, last year, yeah, just before.
Like in the height of it all happening.
Yeah.
Wow, fuck
Did they, like, what was the result of the investigation or whatever? Like, did they figure out what happened or?
Yeah, well, they found her body at this dude's house, and he had another body there, so he was a bit of a serial killer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and well, the funny thing, not the funny thing, but like the weird thing is she was like tweeting about, being sexually assaulted by someone like just before she went like properly missing.
Fuck, so you reckon this guy maybe went back to finish off the job, I guess?
Yeah, who knows? Like,
that's fucked.
because I think she accepted like he offered her a lift as she was walking to wherever she was going, and then was never seen since.
Oh man, that is hectic. I have actually heard though, since like over the last couple of years, there's been like more kind of like attacks on minorities by like kind of Proud Boy style people in America.
I
Would
think
that have anything to do with the man who was in charge of that goddamn country for the last 4 years?
I think he had a little bit to do with it. Yeah, I think him
a
riling
little bit,
people that he was
stoking those fires.
I think him telling them they're all great every time they do like awful things.
You guys are so special.
I love you guys. Yeah, no.
Keep shitting on the walls of Capitol Hill, fucking animals.
I love it when people try and be like, I vote Trump, but like, I'm not like into his like
politics.
Yeah. Or like, I don't think Trump's a racist.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think you've heard or listened to enough Donald Trump.
Oh man, the best is like what's the Mexican Day? Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, I love Mexicans, and he's like eating a taco. That was his photo, like his first year of presidency. It's like, see, Mexicans, I love them. I'm eating a taco right now. That's great. Look at me. He could tell you, it's awful, but he did say and do some pretty hilarious, like
I'm gonna
funny in the
I'm
sense.
gonna miss
that-
the content.
Yeah.
Like it was just 4 years of
perversely
just
funny,
wild content.
Yeah, like
Like, I just feel like
Conflicting.
Biden's going to be boring as fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? Like,
only thing he does is like stutter and occasionally just say hell whack shit, but like it's like almost like a mental synapses. You don't feel as like it's not as funny.
It's probably what that country needs right now, though, given that they're falling apart from the inside. So, hello to our American listeners. I hope you're enjoying this. We're comfortably judging you from fucking
safe island.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom of the world.
Fairly coronaless islands. I know I dream all black. I seen her everything. Immortalizing tweets all caps. They say they found her dead.
Oh, geez, really don't know at all. Like, except obviously she's like referring to the tweet beef that she had with Cole itself.
Yeah, well, I'm not even sure that like this is now really directed at Cole. I think she's kind of like said what she needs to in that first little part of the verse, and now she's gone on to like let's bring things back to like issues that I see important, which is like the death of Black women.
Also, like when she does make a post, is that what she's saying? She like sees great importance of it. It's not something that like someone else can just then take and throw in their face.
Yeah, actually, that's a good annotation. That the kind of flippancy of social media is like you can be saying incredibly important things, but you can also be saying mostly unimportant things, and maybe distracting and getting off topic from what's at hand.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Basically, just backing up the first couple of bars that you had in this, just saying to J Cole, you've spent all your energy coming back at me when you could have been, focusing on the issues and like showing people like what's actually going on. So like, let me do that quickly now. Let me go back to the actual issue and bring up what's important, which is these black people being murdered and yada yada.
Yeah.
So I guess the beef itself is not exactly the most straightforward. Well, it's not your typical beef.
Yeah, well, I guess rap beefs are
barbs.
usually a little bit different in this sense. They're almost like fighting over what you should almost I don't know, talk about with your like image and your spotlight. You probably I feel like that's kind of what it's come about, but it didn't really even. It seems like a bit of a misunderstanding that's like
it's almost like a discussion with a few barbs thrown here and there.
Yeah, I wonder after this being a year now, I wonder if they've kind of they're over it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if
Oh,
there was a resolution to it.
It kind of sounds like there was a bit of resolution. I think they both kind of understood that maybe they should have banded together rather than kind of going at heads.
Yeah.
And focus, like put their energy and resources together as opposed to, dividing and
Conquer.
yeah, well, not really conquering.
Yeah, but that's usually what the enemy does, though, right? They divide and conquer is to get everyone to fight amongst themselves, while like the supreme power,
I feel like this
slowly takes over.
This sounds like, I don't know. To me, this is like the least beef type of beef I've ever seen in a track. Like it's almost like, yeah, we're beefing, but hey, there's other problems. Let's talk about this.
And they're like being like relatively respectful and like
Yeah.
semi cryptic. It's not like I fucked you fat, you bitch, you fat motherfucker. Take
Yeah,
money.
literally
Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah.
Then we go into the chorus. One girl missing, another girl missing, one girl missing, another.
Obviously, referring to the activist that went missing and was murdered, right?
Yeah, and I think kind of more broadly talking about like the kind of statistically high rates that black women go missing in the US.
Yeah.
So yeah, Noname just doing what Noname does, and really drawing attention to issues she's passionate about. Verse 2, but N-words in the back, quiet as a church mouse. Basement studio when duty calls to get the verse out. I guess the ego hurt now. So this is like a fairly pointed rebuke of J. Cole now. She's gone from talking about...
It's not as respectful, that one. It's kind of like, now you're being a baby, wah, wah, wah. You didn't like what I said.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So far.
Which is kind of what he did, though. He was like, I don't like how she said that. I want to make a fucking song now.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that tweet was even directed at him, per se.
Yeah, exactly. Like
He just latched onto it. He was triggered, and then she was triggered. There's just a whole bunch of triggering going on.
It's like at the end of his song too, when he has that revelation where he's like, "Oh, you know what? I could be doing more." And it's just, then why did you release a 4-minute song? Just do more, bro. If you came to that revelation,
I know.
at the end, right?
It's kind of like you were saying when you text, so how you like write out like, like you'll do like almost like your train of thought. It's kind of like that. What that song is. It's like he's like kind of starts off angry, and then by the end he's like, but then you're right. It's like you don't actually have to then release the song.
Yeah, it's like when you finish that last bar with your pen, you should be like, "Oh,
yeah,
all right, fuck, throw this in the bin. Let's go marching."
Like it was a full meditative, like, cathartic experience, and you're like, yeah, all right, like a journal almost. Yeah.
Like I don't want to. I'm not saying it is like this, but it almost feels like this whole beef has been constructed to I guess, I don't know, bring more people to listen to these tracks, to think about these issues,
to have these conversations.
Yeah, because exactly like you said, why would you say all that in a 4-minute song and then right there and you're like, I didn't see it that way.
But then I guess, you're right, that it's like if putting that out there makes people then who probably have that similar train of thought be like, Cole, bang, I should have done it. Ooh, maybe I should.
Oh my god, am I
Are
learning?
you saying that this whole beef has been fabricated?
I literally just said that I'm not implying it's been fabricated. But if it was...
No, we support conspiracy theories.
You're really going to learn a
Rap
lot.
reviews.
But what I am saying, it doesn't really matter whether it was fabricated or not. The fact is that it is, bringing these topics to the people, and it's making people talk about it, and I think it's bringing more awareness, and you can't really argue
Like
with
the
that.
effects are all the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it's positive either way.
It is.
Yeah.
It's time to go to work. Wow, look at him go. He really about to write about me when the world is in smokes. Again, I think she's just reiterating what
You
she
were
kind of referred to.
Already, kind of semi over all that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
like,
doing a little down under shout out, dude, because we had them fires.
True.
And they also had fires as well in California.
Oh, they did too. That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of the pies in California, and to hark back to conspiracy theories, have any of you come across Marjorie Taylor Greene?
The Jew laser.
Yeah, the Jew laser.
Dude, that is so crazy.
It's so
it's almost
fucking
fucking amazing. Oh, Chris, you don't know about this?
I don't know either.
She reckons that like the Jews use a special fucking laser to start the fire, a space laser to start the fire. It's your people, Chris. You motherfucker.
Yeah, we do that. Right? I thought that was mainstream news.
I think you guys don't know about the space lasers?
We weren't quiet about it.
Yeah, she's great. I love also how the Republicans don't want to fully denounce her as well. They're like, well, she could be right. It's like, what?
Well, I guess because like
Is this Gears of War? What's going on?
she's part of that like real Trump base who are into like conspiracy theories, so don't want to alienate a base and not get elected for the next fucking 8 years. But also like at some point you got to distance yourself a little bit from people who are claiming that wildfires are getting started by Jewish space lasers. She's also like a denier of like a bunch of like school shootings, and she'll go and like, you know, go up to survivors and like start like harassing them.
Yes. Like Alex Jones, but he got in so much shit when he said that the Sandy Hook was all like staged, and you know, like it's like, dude, people's kids have just died.
Yeah.
You know, like, you show a little bit of respect for the fallen.
It's like, is there even ever enough time between like, you know, a school shooting and making jokes?
Yeah, like when I guess like Port Arthur is like nowadays, like me and Chris are even a little bit into that conspiracy theory with Port Arthur. No, but we shouldn't get into it.
I'm just so excited Chris got to grab that microphone. Yeah, just thought better of it. I'll put that back.
Let's not talk about that, but you should definitely look into it though. It's pretty exciting.
But at least that crazy conspiracy was formed like, you know, 20 years over like a time, not like just as soon as it happened, people were like, you know, it was staged.
And I'm not saying that I believe in that conspiracy. It's just interesting to read into it.
Me too. I'm not saying I don't believe in it. I don't believe in any conspiracies anymore, but I still like to learn about them.
It's nice to like, you know, get your head in the space of a conspiracy theorist and like nut them out and see just how crazy and how like tenuous the links are between all these things. Who doesn't love getting down into a conspiracy theory? Like,
exactly.
In the wee hours of the morning.
And everyone knows that jet fuel can't fucking melt steel beams.
You know what? And I think it's always good to question things. Like, you
Yeah.
shouldn't question everything, but I mean, I think it's healthy to question things from time
For
to
sure,
time.
yeah,
So.
absolutely.
When people in trees, when George was begging for his mother, saying he couldn't breathe, you thought to write about me.
There you go. It just sums up what we've been saying.
The people in trees part, at first I thought it was like referring to a pretty long history of lynchings in the US, but apparently like following the death of George Floyd, there were a bunch of kind of mysterious black men like hanging from trees.
Wow, so lynching went back up.
No, well, I think most of them were shown to be suicides.
Oh.
But there's also kind of questions, again, maybe conspiracies, maybe not, about how legitimate it was that those were suicides and not just, you know, being masked as suicides.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, they say that like even when Obama got elected, that there was like clans, the activity and stuff started to rise and popularity started to swell through his whole 8 years. And then when Trump got elected, it took another huge fucking bump up.
Surge, yeah.
Yeah, so like the two, because like, you know, yeah, I guess like back to back, it shows like there is still a huge kind of racial inequality problem in that country, and like just even between the people themselves, like clearly struggle, because like just the fact that they had a black president made a lot of people start to fall into clan activity, which is kind of scary, right?
So we cannot deal with, you know, the man's color of skin being in the highest office in our country.
And it just shows you as well, like racism, you can compartmentalize it where like you like, oh, it's fine, you know, say when you think you're not a racist and then a black man gets elected, and then in your head you're like, oh, they shouldn't be able to do that, they shouldn't be. And then it's, you know, like it rises to the top, you know what I mean? Like something you were bearing for a long time becomes more in the forefront, and then when you have all these other people around you, then people, you know, like power in numbers, people start to get like, you know, it's like Bill Burr when he's saying he's doing like bits, and sometimes when he starts hearing too much hollering, he's like, I'm going to stop doing this material because these guys are taking it too seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Didn't know that about Bill Burr.
Yeah, well, I guess like if you listen to a lot of his comedy, like you can understand that there'd be a lot of like fucking right wingers that just don't realize that he is joking. You know, they're jokes. You can't take them all to serious. But people are like, you know.
He's like, oh, back off.
Yeah, like, it's time to stop.
Hold up. We go back to the chorus. One go missing, another go, blah blah blah. We go into verse 3. Yo, but little did I know all my reading would be a bother. It's trans women being murdered, and this is all he can offer.
Same thing, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be getting more like overt about it as the song goes. Like, I can just imagine her just writing it in her like room, and like the further she gets on, starting to like have revelations herself, being like, oh fuck this guy, dude. Like, honestly, and just getting angry.
It's kind of like the opposite to Cole's, where she starts off respectful, and then towards the end, she's like, you know what? Fuck this cunt.
Yeah, that's totally it.
Like, she's not even being cryptic anymore. She's just like, fuck it. There's fires. Women are dying. You're a cunt. I hate you.
I back both sides of this. It's hilarious. Both those trajectories. Yeah.
But that first line, little did I know all my reading would be a bother, because in Snow on the Bluff, as we discussed, even though it was a few weeks since we've recorded, which is bad on our part, that none of us can remember it, but he took like a little bit of, I'm not sure if it was a swipe or he was kind of just bringing up the fact that, you know, she's super educated, and, you know, he's kind of saying maybe you should be doing more to educate.
And he said that she
people.
came from like a very privileged background, which we didn't realize that she hadn't really.
No, she hadn't, and also she is doing like a lot of like grassroots education on the matters that she's like passionate about.
Yeah.
That No Name book club, which we referenced in the last episode. Again, just go back and listen to the fucking episode if you haven't, all right? Not going to re-explain the entire thing for you.
Yeah, come on. Do some of the work yourself.
And this is all you'll receive, distracting from the convo with organisers. They talking about abolishing the police, and this is the New World Order.
Well, yeah, after George Floyd died, everyone wanted to defund the police.
Yeah, that movement surged in popularity.
Yeah, hugely, yeah.
Well, there's defunding the police, which I think is like a lesser kind of radical, and then abolishing the police is like, you know, defunding, disempowering, disarming. It's like just entirely removing the police force.
Yeah, that doesn't make any... Like, I think defunding is a far better compromise.
I mean, compared to cancelling the police completely, I think defunding is a bit
because, like, it's all good until someone breaks in your house with a knife, and you're like, who the fuck do I call? You know, like, what do you do? You know, like, you got to have a guy with a gun to roll up. And
I personally believe, I mean, there's some really shitty cops out there who don't know, you know, who are the worst people, the absolute scum of the earth. And then there are some cops out there who are decent people, but who probably just didn't get enough training. I'm not saying the guy who was involved in the Floyd thing didn't get enough training. That guy was a piece of shit.
Yeah, clearly.
But I think, defunding the police makes sense, or maybe, I don't know, maybe using the funding differently to bring more awareness, to like re-educate, to give more training to police officers, to
Alternative training,
stuff like that. Completely cancelling the police, I don't know, that seems a bit silly.
And I think they definitely do, especially in America and even here in Australia. Like, they do too much. Like, they should be more departments so that cops aren't overworked and they can only focus on smaller areas where, like, you can be trained properly. So it's like, you're not like going to go help an old lady get a cat out of the tree and then also stop an armed burglar. You know, like, it's too much for one person to do.
Have kind of the police for like a specific like life-threatening circumstances, but have like other units who might not necessarily be armed, dealing with, you know, like people with mental health issues.
Even like, say, like domestic violence, like say like cops get called out, right? And they go and they're like, oh, can you stop hitting her, please? And then the guy's like, all right, I'll stop hitting her. And then like fucking they leave and he goes back to hitting her again. It's like proven that, like, if they had someone go in and be like, hey, do you want us to move you? Are you okay? Do you want to line? And like they work, you know, like from like a counseling point of view, they help the woman or the man or whatever like get out of the situation. Obviously, usually it's more like in domestic violence usually, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like a better solution than just sending two guys around for fucking 10 minutes and then they leave and then they're going to go to another house.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
and maybe that will like antagonize the abuser a bit more by like having cops show up with like, you know, their guns and whatnot.
Yeah, like it's shown that, like, say even with like the OJ trial, like, you know, his ex-wife was calling the police and calling people being like, this guy's fucking getting really scary. Like, he's getting more and more angry. He's calling me. He's like irate as fuck. You know, this is like this is weeks and weeks and months before her death. You know, it's like something could have been arranged. And same with, there's heaps of people like that. Well, they'll be beaten 10 times, and then on the 11th time, the guy will fucking kill her. You know, like there was a rugby player, a gridiron player in America, who beat his girlfriend so badly the other day, like about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. He told her to bow. She didn't want to do it, so he punched the fuck out of her, like strangled her. He thought she was dead. She got up and he was like, oh, wow, you're alive? And she ran into the bathroom and called the police.
Fuck.
That's fucked up.
Like, apparently didn't even, he looked up, he was like, oh, wow, you're alive? And then just went back to eating his food. Like,
utter psychopath.
Yeah, you know, like, that's a psychopath. But, you know, she had also complained about his violent tendencies before and stuff. So it's like, you need to have, you know, anyway. Try to lighten it up again.
But yeah, I think by that line, she's basically saying that like the conversation moved on to focusing entirely on like the police and abolishing the police or what have you, when really the bigger conversation is like the mind state of that entire country and the way the history is predicated, the way people think now and the way it's all built, and black people and minorities in general in that country, how they're looked at, treated, and yada yada. So it's like there's a massive amount of change that needs to happen that can't happen overnight and needs to be spoken about regularly until it changes over how many years or whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's so much easier to just focus on one aspect of it and say, well, let's just defund the police. And I think what she's saying is that you're kind of missing the point of the entire issue. And there's a lot more going on than just that.
Oh, yeah. But you see it with like everything though, man. Like, yeah, like even like it's like people only start making a post when someone like George Floyd dies, and then everyone starts making posts for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, it was like the Australia Day thing every year. I
Yeah,
hate it when that comes up.
so
it's
annoying.
the biggest thing on that
I know.
week, and then and you know that the people who are in charge are waiting for it and going like, all right,
Yeah.
we're gonna get this week. We know how to deal with it. We do it every year. Let's just brush it off, run past it, pretend we're caring, and then we'll forget about it for the next 12 months.
I think everyone is just so disingenuous with that though. Like a lot of people who make posts because it's like,
And people
you
mean
don't,
well,
you don't
but-
fucking do like, you know, there's a lot you can do in the day to day. There's charities, there's organisations, and things you can do to. Same with like Melbourne Cup Day. It's like
Yeah,
people
same thing.
always make a post so they can look fucking better about themselves. It's like, you know, they race all year round,
Yeah,
right?
this is not the only
In
day that horses are getting
hundreds
whipped
of
and yelled at.
countries, you know, like, you know, like it's, you know, it's like, it's the biggest race of the year in Australia. Even the Cotswold Cup actually has more horses racing. You know, like the Derby in America is fucking bigger, like race, more horse. You know, it's just like
putting down more horses.
yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is like, if you really fucking cared about the horses, you would be working at it all year round. You wouldn't just make a fucking post right before Melbourne Cup Day, like, you know.
It's a
Eat
bit
a
complicated
dick.
because there's a part of you that's like, oh wow, like it's great that people are posting this stuff and getting
Yeah.
awareness and
Yeah,
getting
the
more people
intention's
onto
always
it.
good, yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
also a part of you that goes,
It's
oh,
just
there's a lot of people who
disingenuous,
just, who just post it and then they feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
And they don't have to revisit
Like
it.
with
So,
Black Floyd, like with George Floyd, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna post my black square. I'm done for the day now, right? Like, you know, it's just like,
Well, even,
no,
like there's people who have the black square as their actual photo still to this date. And it's just like, I don't think anyone's even paying attention to that anymore. Like now it's just become your default picture. No one cares. Like it's moved on. You're not like,
yeah, like I don't know.
it's not sparking a conversation anymore.
Yeah, well, you don't like see nearly as much posts as was coming out like May, June last year.
Yeah. And then there
about,
was
like,
that
you know,
goddamn video with the celebrities in the black and white going like, I take responsibility.
Oh, that was so bad.
Oh, the celebrities
totally
last
bad.
year
That
did some.
was-
Imagine when they were all singing "Imagine." That was the most fucking cringe-worthy thing.
As they're like singing it from their like
Yeah.
fucking 12-bedroom like
Yes.
holiday home.
A song, by the way, that caused a man to kill John Lennon because he was like, "This guy is full of shit. He lives in a mansion, you know." And he went out and like, no excuse, but he read Catcher in the Rye too many times. But you know, the point is like, yeah, even fucking when it came out, the song was so bullshit. You know, like it's a great song, but it's fucking full of shit. You know, like it's like, imagine, oh, that's like, dude, your apartment in New York is fucking lit, bro. You know, like.
That's why I love the beef between Paul McCartney and John Lennon because they just didn't like each other's style of music. So John
I'm
Lennon was like,
100%
I didn't like your nursery rhyme style of like fake romantic love. But he's like, yeah, but who do you think you are, bro? Like Gandhi?
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man, I'm totally.
Yeah,
when I
people
was
don't care.
younger,
People
I was
just wanna
on
dance and have
Lennon's
fun,
side.
like-
But you do more research. Paul is definitely the one who's like the good guy in that situation.
Yeah, John Lennon seems like a bit of a prick.
Oh, he's a cunt.
Yeah.
He's like a full cunt. I know you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but just do any amount of like research on the guy, you'll know that he's a piece of shit, and Yoko is a cunt too.
Well, didn't Lennon always like? I mean, I don't know if that was sort of part of the course a bit more back in those days, but he was known for beating his girlfriends and stuff. John Lennon, like,
Yeah,
that's a
I
known
think so,
thing,
yeah.
Like, not a great guy.
No.
Not bad messages.
No,
but
and
not a
yeah,
great
well,
guy.
I mean,
You know, they were in the Comedy Store, John Lennon and Harry Nelson, and they were being so disrespectful to the comedians and just like fucking yelling out obscenities and stuff that the security guard picked them up both by their hair and threw them down the stairs.
who's this? Lennon and McCartney.
And Harry Nelson, who was another singer.
Oh yeah, lime
They
in the
s-
coconut.
Yeah, I mean, they were like really good mates, and they used to go out for like 3-4 day benders, and like Robin Williams would come, and all these people like who love to fucking just do heaps of cocaine and shit. Yeah, but the security guy was like, I don't give a fuck who these cunts are. I just picked them up and threw them out. Like,
They
get the
seem
fuck
like
out.
very easy guys to pick up by their ears and pop out, you know. Very thin Britishman.
Drug addled.
Yeah, just.
I know, Harry was kind of a big boy though. He died of a heart attack from all that cocaine and food. Anyway,
The Elvis diet. We democratize an Amazon. We burn down borders. This a new vanguard. This a new vanguard. I'm the new vanguard.
And the vanguard is like someone who protects the rear, isn't it?
A vanguard is a definition straight from Merriam-Webster, is the forefront of an action or movement.
Oh, it's the forefront.
Yes, like I guess a
Not bad.
leader, per se. And I think that's kind of referencing a tweet that Cole then put out following Snow on the Bluff, where he referred to Noname as like a leader, I guess, in this space of, black activism. And so maybe she's, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's like a tongue-in-cheek, yeah, you know what, I'm the new vanguard, or maybe she's been like, actually, you know what, Cole, you're right, I disagree with everything else you said, but I am a leader, thank you.
Yeah, you can take it either way.
I do like the line, democratize an Amazon. I guess like she's a pretty unbashful supporter of socialist causes and wanting to move away from the current system of capitalism that they have in that
As
country.
she makes all her money on capitalism. You gotta love it sometimes. It's fucking so dumb.
the layers of hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
But yeah,
That's the end of the song?
that's the song. I'm going to read you a string of tweets that J. Cole released following his Snow on the Bluff, which was released on 16th of June. He tweeted this on the 17th of June, and Noname put out this song on the 18th of June. So it was like very fucking quick turnaround.
That's why it gets lazy halfway through, because it's just like,
Kind of
fuck.
sounds like it's fabricated.
but also the fact that she was like
Possible
talking
conspiracy?
about like, oh, you're going down to your basement and to like rap about me when there's all these like important things going on, and then she's able to pump out a song about him within 24 hours.
But in saying that, she does spend 80% of the song talking about issues, not about J. Cole.
Yeah,
So she's kind of
that's
backed
true.
up what she said.
And she does,
She's done it
like-
all quite succinctly. Didn't overstay her welcome with the song. Like J. Cole sort of rambles through it and goes a bit long, sort of makes it about him. Whereas she's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, these are the points.
I think they're actually both good tracks. And it's
Yeah, they are, yeah.
like, I kind of semi in Chris's camp where maybe it's fabricated. I feel like.
I also feel like if the beef doesn't matter and there's all these problems, why even bring up J. Cole in a track?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I
Oh,
mean?
like they're both. I think everyone in the world is a hypocrite, though. I think like all four of us are hypocrites. Like I honestly think there's one human condition you can't get rid of. You can try to diminish it as much as possible, but like they're both being super fucking hypocritical with both of the songs. But if you look past that, I think that's good.
Yeah, there's substance in either track.
I think
Anyway, I'll read you this string of tweets that Cole released following his song, which to me kind of comes across as like a bit of an admission of, not guilt, but an admission that some of the stuff he was saying might not have been completely accurate. Some assume to know who the song is about. That's fine with me. It's not my job to tell anybody what to think or feel about the work. I accept all conversation and criticisms, but let me use this moment to say, follow at Noname. I love and honor her as a leader in these times. She has done and is doing the reading and the listening and the learning on the path that she truly believes is the correct one for our people. Meanwhile, an N-word like me just be rapping. I haven't done a lot of reading and I don't feel well equipped as a leader in these times, but I do a lot of thinking and I appreciate her and others like her because they challenge my beliefs, and I feel that in these times that's important. Full stop.
And then she released the track after he released that.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say, again,
Dude,
what he
that's-
said there, I agree with all of that. So why release the song? Just why was that tweet not? Like, just tweet that. That's the fucking point. Like, I love J. Cole, but fuck me, bro. It's so J. Cole.
And it's
as well
also
at the
such a
same time.
wordy tweet as well.
Oh,
to have released like a pretty long song and then to release like a fucking essay on Twitter.
Like, that should have been the fucking song, bro. Like, that was...
I do love that quote. That's almost like a great. I don't do a lot of reading, but I do a lot of thinking. It's so good.
He's so cute, J. Cole.
Such a dumb thing to say. All right.
Anyway, so that's beef wrapped up. I don't know if we want to do like. I don't think we actually did like.
We
BPMs.
BPM'd it.
Yeah, we did.
You didn't want to. You wanted to hold off.
Oh yeah.
Good memory there, Kieran.
Terrible
I think she
memory.
wins though, especially because he tweeted that and then she just doubled down. So I reckon.
She's like drop. Well, this was.
Are we going to say a winner of the beef?
I was going to say, it's not really winner. She just has... She's got a bit more clarity to what she's fucking talking about, whereas J. Cole's just kind of got his head up his own ass a little bit, I think.
Yeah, but I think he even like openly accepts it a little bit.
And I also
That's-
feel like I don't even remember the J. Cole track when we annotated it, so I'm not going to say who won the beef. I feel like that's unfair. But, yeah, I don't know.
All right, fine, whatever.
I'm going to say that I preferred the actual lyrics of Snow on the Bluff. J. Cole is a master fucking poet. But in terms of who won the beef, yeah, I think Noname is a pretty clear winner in my eyes. The fact that, you know, she didn't even target J. Cole in the first place and he bought into it, and then she was just like, boots. And then he's coming out releasing, you know, these long-winded fucking tweets trying to exonerate himself. Yeah, Noname wins this beef for me.
Yeah.
In terms of the beef itself, BPMs, I'm going to give a beef BPM anyway. I'm going to give it about 120 BPMs. Like in comparison with all the other rap beefs, it's pretty fucking tame.
Yeah, it's a bit like benign compared to like
Oh yeah, I don't know enough. I'd call it beef. It's kind of just a discussion where one person's got a bit of clarity, and the other one's a bit like, what?
Wait, am I the bad?
Yeah, wait, what?
When did that happen? Yeah. I'm gonna ditto what you said with all the whole win and loss thing. And then if I'm gonna give BPM to the song, like 410.
410. Yeah,
Short,
right.
but like, you know, she gets
That's exactly what I was going to give it.
Really?
410.
Well,
Yeah.
bones that out. All right. And fucking Spunker. Yeah, Ben, you're up.
I don't even know how to give a BBM to this, but it's kind of she's just making points and making good ones.
Just give it a fucking arbitrary
Yes,
number,
maybe
dude.
400.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, it's nothing like it's not. Yeah, it's a PSA rather than a song.
Yeah. I'd even go lower. I'd say like J. Cole's, I'd give him like I don't know. Actually, in terms of lyrics, I'd probably like his more. So I'd give him like a 420, and I'd give lyrics for this a 370.
Tight.
Sweet. Also, before we go, I did get a message from a listener and a fan. He's actually a rapper as well. His name's Fiasco Boogie. Usually people send us, I'm not going to say trash, but it's garbage.
I'm just going to use a nicer word for rubbish.
It's fucking usually really bad. But this guy sent me a few messages, and I hadn't seen the older ones, and I didn't want to like have a bit of a stand situation, you know. So I listened to it, but it's actually really good. Like his album just came out like only a couple of days ago. I guess it's 5th of February, I believe. Give it a listen. Like he's a cool English rapper, pretty like conscious stuff. But
What's his name again, sorry?
Fiasco Boogie.
Fiasco Boogie.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Tight.
And we'll do it. Maybe I promised him we'll do a post as well. But I think he's underground. But he's had 3 albums on, and like it's honestly like pretty good stuff. Like
I saw you posted it on Instagram.
yeah, because I was like blown away because I'm usually expecting trash. Like I'm usually like it's gonna be fucked, and it was on Spotify. Like, and I was like oh wait, this guy might take it somewhat seriously. Not just like a homemade video on YouTube.
I'm actually impressed that
someone
you're
said
to all these submissions people
Yeah,
send
no,
you.
you're doing well.
Good on
I see those, and I'm like, I'm never going to look at this message again.
well, like, yeah, I guess like you think they're all going to be fucked, but then Fiasco. I want to help him out. I want to try to get that guy like at least 5 to 10 more listens.
No, this
you
is
know?
good for anyone who's listening. We do actually have one member of Rap Reviews who will maybe give it half a second of consideration.
Yeah, I check the Facebook messages more than anything else. I think Chris, you do the emails, don't you?
Yeah, but we usually don't get much through the emails. We get like a few fans just asking random questions, or we get like vitamin companies asking to sponsor us. Well, that's about it, really.
What about dick pills, mate?
Yeah, a few dick pills here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
No,
I was
we
gonna
don't.
say if we can sell dick pills, I'll do that. Fuck it.
It's
Who gives
mostly like sport-based vitamins and stuff. So.
They clearly don't listen to the show. None of these
No,
people.
no.
Yeah,
Of course.
sick.
Speaking of dick pills, should we give a shout out to and Vodka? Are they still giving us free shit?
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway actually as well. I don't know how we're going to work this out because it's the first giveaway I've done. But maybe if you just like the Instagram posts or Facebook posts or over the whole month of February, and then we'll choose someone at the end of it.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you email us at the moment with a suggestion or a question, anything will count. We'll put it all in a generator at the end of it, and then you'll get like $120 worth of vodka and soda. Is that cool, everyone?
Oh,
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. And people, if you're telling your friends and stuff, it looks like the numbers are going up every day or a little bit. So thank you for doing that. And
much appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would be so kind as to hop on Apple reviews and maybe give us 5 stars, leave a comment.
strictly 5 stars.
You can give us a 1 star, but you've got to give reasoning behind why you're giving us a 1 star.
We only take 1s or 5s, nothing in between.
Someone gave us 3 the other day. I was like, "You just dirty dog." What do we do?
Do they give a reasoning?
No, it's just a straight 3. But it's all, I was actually like kind of like more upset with that than the 1 star because I was like, the 1 star is like that person's being vindictive, like they're jealous. It could be someone I know. But 3-star guys, like they thought about it and I'm like, it could be better.
Response.
It really could be better.
Yeah, it's more genuine feedback. It's actually going to make you think and change a bit.
Yeah, and for that, thank you, 3-star.
It would have been
guy.
nice if they actually wrote something. Though.
Just tell us where we can go from there.
Yeah.
Like one guy gave us 4 stars as a listener from Australia, but at least he told us how he think it would make it better.
What was the suggestion?
Oh, I just wanted to hear the actual song at the end of it, but I think for legal reasons we can't do it. We looked into it, but we just can't do it. Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who listened to one of the episodes we did and we were talking about doing, it could have been the J. Cole one, talking about doing the monthly rap beef.
Yeah.
Dude was hot on the idea, man. He sent me a message and was like, dude, you should definitely do that. I would tune in every month for that.
All right. Yeah,
sure,
there you go. Maybe
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. If you like the serial, reach out and
Yeah,
we'll do more. Do
and then
2-part series.
if you reach out, then you can go in the draw to win fucking some vodka and shit. Anyway, should we call it that? It's a long outro.
Yeah, it's a very long outro.
Right,
Goodbye.
Informative, though.
Bye now.